Namaskarams and a very good evening. The Fine Arts Society warmly welcomes you to Aanmikothsavam 2023. 3 days of experiencing the divine. On day one, we had Shri Vittal Bhajan Mandali's soulful rendition of devotional songs. Yesterday, eminent Vedic speaker and writer in Sanatana Dharma, Sri Dushyanth Sridhar, kindled our thoughts and emotions with his discourse on the topic Mini Mahabharata, a powerful capsule. It was indeed a powerful and enriching experience, and we are back again to hear him speak today on the third and final day of Aanmikothsavam 2023 on the chosen topic, Sita Rama Dampatya, the couple's compatibility. We are happy to share the Fine Arts Society's Dramatics Wing will be staging their two enthralling, award-winning Tamil plays in Coimbatore on 6th and 7th January. Please do request your Coimbatore-based family and friends to watch the dramas. Also glad to announce that our eagerly awaited annual 7-day mega festival, Indradhanush Mahotsav, will commence from 26 January. An interesting variety of cultural programs featuring eminent and popular artists awaits your presence. Moving on, a little about Sri Dushyanth Sridhar. He is an Indian film director, writer, and public speaker. He delivers discourses in Tamil and English and focuses on ancient Hindu scriptures. He is known in households through his discourses in various regional television channels, is a sought-after panelist in national TV channels. He has a wide spectrum of audience following on YouTube with 50 million views and 2,000 videos. He has delivered 3,500 discourses in 125 cities across 23 countries. He organizes yatras to temples of religious and architectural significance. He has collaborated with eminent musicians to deliver discourses in Harikatha style and with renowned dancers in Katha Nritya style. He has been making waves thanks to his modern interpretation of the Vedas and the Puranas. His audience comprises the young and the old. Never preachy, he reaches out to his rasikas in a language they understand. So, let us experience an enriching journey of awakening as young Upanyaskar Sri Dushyanth Sridhar brings mythological stories to life with engrossing tales, anecdotes, beautifully interwoven into the narration. Before we begin, a kind request. Please keep your cell phones on the silent mode. Have an enjoyable evening. Thank you.
Ramanuja Dayapatram Yanavairagya Bhushanam Srimadvenkatanathaaryam Vande Vedantadeshikam Lakshminatha Samarambham Natha Yamuna Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Yo Nityam Achyuta Padambuja Yugma Rukma Vyamohatas Taditarani Trinayamene Asmadguror Bhagavatosya Dayaika Sindhoho Ramanujasya Charanau Sharanam Prapadye Mata pita yuvatayasthanaya vibhutis sarvam yadeva niyamena madanvayanam Adyasyanah kulapater vakulabhiramam Srimat tadangri yugalam pranamami murdhana Bhutam sarascha mahadahvaya bhattanata Shri bhaktisara kulashekara yogi vahan Bhaktangri renu parakala yatindra mishran Srimat parankushamunim pranatosmi nityam Kujantam rama rameti Madhuram madhuraksharam Aruhya kavita shakham Vande Valmiki kokilam Valmikir munisimhasya Kavita vanacharinaha Shrinvan ramakatha nadam Konayadi param gatim vedavedye pare pumsi Jayate dasharathatmaje Vedah pracheta sadasit Sakshad ramayanatmana Anjananandanam viram Janaki shokanashanam Kapisham akshahantaram Vande Lanka bhayankaram Manojavam marutatulya vegam Jitendriyam buddhimatam varishtam Vatatmajam vanarayuta mukhyam Shri Ramadutam Shirasa namami Anjaneya madipathalananam Kanchanadrikamaniya vigraham Parijata taru mulavasinam Bhavayami pavamananandanam Yatra yatra raghunatha kirtanam Tatra tatra kritamastakанjalim Bashpavari paripurnalochanam Marutim namata rakshasantakam Bhumi janayakam Bhukti mukti dayakam Nama kirtana tarakam Naravaragatamayikam Ramachandram bhavayami raghukulatилakam Upendram Saketa nagare nivasantam Saketa nagare nivasantam Samrajya prada Hanumantam Rakenduvadanam Bhagavantam Ramaniya Kalyana Gunavantam Kakutstam Dhimantam Kamalaksham Shrimantam Kakutstam Dhimantam Kamalaksham Shrimantam Nakeshanutamanantam Naraguruguha Viharantam Ramachandram Bhavayami. Muthuswami Dikshitar, one of the revered trinities in Karnataka Sangeetam. Of course, this word has caused so much of debate amongst the commoners and some at times even amongst the scholars. It is Karnataka Sangeetam. People wonder if it has come from Karnataka. Karneshu atati iti Karnatam. That which is very pleasing to the ears of Mahalakshmi is called Karnata. Karneshu atati. When she listens to this music, it seems her earrings go this way and that way. Karneshu atati. So it is called Karnata. Nevertheless, there have been a plethora of scholars and Vagayakaras from the region of Karnataka who have embellished this music, like Purandaradasa, Kanakadasa, Vijaya Vittaladasa, all the dasas of the Dasa Paddhati, they have done a yeoman's service to this Sangeetam. But Karnataka Sangeetam doesn't essentially mean that music which is coming from Karnataka. Muthuswami Dikshitar was so much so attached to Ramachandra that he gave a Rama Vibhakti Kirtanas. So you have Ramachandro, Ramachandram, Ramachandrasya, Ramachandrena. You've got all the kritis and all the Vibhaktis of Ramanama. That said, the topic chosen for the day is Sita Rama Dampatyam. Essentially, I didn't find an equivalent for the word Dampatyam, which could mean couple, couplehood, compatibility, so on and so forth. But I was asked to give an English topic. So I made it Sita Rama compatibility. So don't even wonder if that is an equivalent to the word Dampatyam. Some gets very close. What is so special about Sita Rama Dampatyam? One, the entire Ramayana is based on the couple. And there are plenty of questions that surmount the couple. One, of course, the moment I say Rama, Ramayana to the general public, I'm sure all of you gathered here are Bhagavatottamas and Astikas who have immense respect for the scripture, which may have been passed over generation after generation in your family. But the moment we say Rama, Sita, Ramayana, beginning from Chennai, Gopalapuram, I'm just giving a few areas, to Ramavaram, to the gardens, immediately questions. If Rama was so attached to Sita, why did he allow the Agni Pariksha to happen? You try telling Rama, Sita Rama Dampatyam to your children. Imagine you're having a call today after the lecture. Thereby I'm assuming you're going to stay for the entire lecture. So it's a presumption to the conclusion. And after the lecture, you talk to your children and you say that I attended the lecture of some person here. He spoke about Sita Rama Dampatyam. Two follow-up questions. Why did Rama do Agni Pariksha to Sita? Two, why did he send a pregnant Sita to the forest? All other things in the Ramayana will get masked with these two questions. And as usual, for the last 100, 200 years, we were mesmerized in the black sheep that was in a confusion to distribute its wool. So that distributed its wool amongst three people. And we have been told in our rote learning to recite Baba Black Sheep to any elderly person who comes to our house. And how a man who did not care for his physical health went Humpty and Dumpty and fell from the wall. And how all the kinsmen got together to raise him up to the compound wall. So this is how we have spent our childhood. So we have left our productive years whereby we could have like a sponge absorbed all these shlokas and the quintessence in it. And we will be baffled when our children will ask questions. They will say, some people will come and say, "En kolanda question kekran ennama kekran theriyuma. Enakku badile theriyala." Perume. Now the moment such questions come and we are baffled, we will come to the conclusion there is no answer to this question. When we do not know the answer, there is no answer to this question. That is our conclusion. And immediately there will be 4 or 5 Twitter handles which will come and troll. This is the state where we are. When we do not know the nuances of our own scriptures, our ignorance will be utilized to the T. This is what has happened in the last 50 to 100 years. I'm not blaming any politician, political party. We should never blame our own weaknesses and put them on somebody else. So this lecture may not help answer every question. But through this topic, at least I'm trying. I shall try to give answers to some of the questions. Again, I am very careful. I am not saying that my answers will convince you. That's not my job. I will give answers what have been given by our acharyas. To get convinced or not convinced is your karma. Now, when we talk about Sita Rama Dampatyam, please remember in Sanatana Dharma, though we hold Puranas like Sri Vishnu Purana, which Adi Shankara has bountifully used in his commentaries, Srimad Bhagavata Purana, which has one huge universe of followers, Linga Purana, Shiva Purana, Lalita Sahasranamam appears in the Brahmanda Purana. All these Puranas are very important. We also have Bharata Panchamo Veda. Mahabharata is treated, if at all there is a fifth Veda that could be given the stated, is Mahabharatam, it seems. So we discussed Mahabharata yesterday. With all these famous, very respected, most quoted, substantiated Puranas on one side, the fifth Veda status accorded Mahabharata on one side, Ramayana can win them hands down. I am not saying this, all our acharyas state that. Itihasa sreshtamana Srimad Ramayanam. If at all there are conflicting statements from the Itihasas and the Puranas, between the Itihasas and the Puranas, our acharyas of three major philosophies, Advaita, Vishishtadvaita and Dvaita philosophies, unanimously state that whatever Ramayana states should be given more importance than Mahabharata or other Puranas. So Ramayanam and thereby Rama Janma Bhumi becomes extremely important for the existence of Dharma. People who are not used to the traditional learning may think that Ramayana and Rama's birthplace is just another place. That is the root of this civilization. Remember. So that said, where do we begin with Sita Rama's marriage? I'm going to give you various parts because I have to cover 24,000 shlokas, 7 kandas in 1 hour 40 minutes. So I have to pick and choose incidents which I feel is tangible enough for our topic of the day, which is Sita Rama Dampatyam. When Vishwamitra enters the assembly, the Sabha Mantapam of Dasharatha, what was Dasharatha doing then? Valmiki states, Darakriyam Prati. Dasharatha was contemplating and worried about why his son was not married then. His age was 12. Rama's age was 12. The father was worried, why my son is not yet married? Dara Kriyam Prati is the shlokam. Go check in. All of you can do fact check. ValmikiRamayana.net. Balakandam. Around the 57th, 58th Sarga, this should appear. Because till 52, 53 we have Vishwamitra Charitram. So, Darakriyam Prati, he was worried. That is when Vishwamitra enters and Dasharatha says, what do you want? And Vishwamitra says, please send your son to protect my yaga. Pasitala mande muniyaga munani bahuparakrama muninerungana raka shashivadana. Send your son along with me. Dasharatha's BP became 90 by 60. He swooned. He said, how can you ask for my son? He is the apple of my eye, orange of my throat. How can you ask my son? That is when Vasishtha intervened and said, you send your son. Because Vasishtha knew Rama's weakness. What was Rama's weakness? There was nothing in Rama's CV. Achievements. Not even C, C++. Not even Python. Not even Six Sigma. What was he good at? The only achievement, listens to his parents. Vasishtha knew it will be very tough with this achievement to get married to someone. Imagine somebody says, my son listens to me. Then the girl's parents may think twice. Correct? So no achievement in Rama's CV. That is when Vasishtha thought, Vasishthopi mahatejaha yeche me tapasi sthitaha. Vasishtha intervened and said, you send your son. Because the Purohita says, Purohitam, the one who stays outside the family yet thinks good for the family, is called Purohita. He thinks hita for the family. So Dasharatha sent his son. Then Rama manages to vanquish Tataka, Subahu, drive away Maricha, give Ahalyodharanam, emancipation to Ahalya. And then he enters Mithilopavanam. Mithilopavanam is the outskirts of Mithila, Mithilopavanam. That is when Janaka comes forward. Janaka is a surname. It is one title given to all the Rajas of Mithila Pradesh. The king's name was Siradhwaja. His younger brother was called Kushadhwaja. So they will be referred to as Siradhwaja Janaka, Kushadhwaja Janaka. So the Siradhwaja Janaka went and welcomed Rama. This is where we need to understand the dharmic aspects in Ramayana. Sanatana Dharma doesn't support only arranged marriages. Shastram says 8 kinds of marriages are allowed. One is Brahma Vivaham, where both sides agree and then the boy and the girl meet. You can call it arranged or assisted. That is Brahma Vivaham. In certain cases, you have to comply to certain conditions. It is called Prajapatyam, that kind of a marriage. There is one Vivaham called Daiva Vivaham. So Brahmam, Prajapatyam, Daivam. Then there are 3 kinds of marriages where little monetary transactions may happen. Who will give whom? The boy's side have to pay the girl's side. Those are the 3 kinds of marriages. Then there is a 7th kind of marriage called as Rakshasam. Rakshasam means if the girl likes the boy likes the girl, but the girl's side doesn't like the boy. Then with the consent of the girl, don't quote me anywhere, this is there in the Shastram. Now you see, when they post this video, exactly these 10 seconds will become viral. I don't know how. I would have spent 2 hours on the Ramayana. With the girl's consent, the boy can take the girl away. Who did this? Krishna did this to Rukmini. Who gave this idea to Krishna? Rukmini. Rakshasena Vidhina. Krishna, don't wonder that I have already been engaged to Shishupala. As per Article 14 and 52b, you can still come and marry me. Use this trump card called as Rakshasa Vidhi. This comes in the 5th shloka of Rukmini Sandesham. That is the 7th marriage. 8th marriage, generally not recommended. It is called Paishacham. When the girl is sleeping, you go and marry her. That is the worst marriage. Even Dharma Shastram says don't do that. So this is 8. In the 3 marriages before, there is one Vivaham called Gandharvam, which happened between Dushyanta and Shakuntala. Just exchange that ring. That's all. No, you don't even have to go to the register office. Just exchange that ring. That is called Gandharvam. So amongst these 8 marriages, one marriage which I'm sure at least the elderly people here will be able to associate till the 1960s, 70s is arranged or assisted marriage. What was Rama's marriage? It was kind of arranged and assisted only. When Janaka Siradhwaja goes and welcomes Vishwamitra into his town, he spots these 2 men, young men, very able with great prowess. So he asks, Imau Kumarau Bhadramte Devatulya Parakramau Gajasimha Gati Virau Shardula Vrishabhopamau Padmapatra Vishalakshau Khadgatunir Dhanurdharau Ashwina Vivarupena Samupasthita Yauvanau. If you know basic Sanskritam, you will know this is Dvivachana Shlokam. Everything is in dual. Imau Kumarau Bhadramte Devatulya Parakramau Gajasimha Gati Virau Shardula Vrishabhopamau Padmapatra Vishalakshau Khadgatunir Dhanurdharau Ashwina Vivarupena Samupasthita Yauvanau. If Janaka's eyes were cast only on Rama, he should have not used Dvivachanam. Why did he use Dvivachanam? Because the commentator says he had 2 daughters. One was Sita, second was Urmila. The moment he saw these 2 men, he thought both of them will be apt for my 2 daughters, so that my daughters can also live in the same house together. Their sisterhood will also not be broken. So what does this prove? Parents can at times find good matches. That is the moral. Next, was there a courtship period between Rama and Sita? Because if you get into Valmiki's Ramayana, there is no place mentioned where Rama met Sita before the marriage. But this may seem cruel even on the youngsters these days. They may say a lot more can happen over a cup of coffee. At least that heart should be put with that cinnamon powder at the top. So they should meet. That is when the acharyas in the regional languages have taken the liberty to say that both of them met. One is the earliest version in the regional languages which is available in the Tamil language called Kamban. Kamban says both of their eyes met. Ennalum nalathinal, inayal nindroli, kannodu kanninai kavvi, ஒன்றை ஒன்று உண்ணவும் நிலைப்பெறாது உணர்வும் ஒன்றிட அண்ணரும் நோக்கினான் அவளும் நோக்கினாள். Just the meeting of their eyes was enough to say that they are a perfect couple. Why? The commentator asks, because Apastamba Maharshi in his Sutram states, in case you are going to find a perfect match for the horoscope, because in assisted or arranged marriages, Jatakam will come into our picture. If the Jatakams don't match, what to do? That is when Apastamba says, in case the Jatakam doesn't match, bring the boy and the prospect girl together. If their eyes can communicate, then no need to worry about the Jatakam, says the Maharshi. Ikshanatve. Note this point. If the eyes meet, how do we know eyes can meet? In the lecture. Now it is 6:30. Imagine you want to go home by about 7:45, but I will finish only by 8. How will you tell your partner that you have to leave by 7:45? Only through your eyes. And then you will nod your head. See, this is the learning from delivering so many lectures. We observe audience, right? So we'll see what they are all doing. But when I meet them outside, I will act as if I didn't see them eye gesturing at their partner. Annarum nokkinan avalum nokkinal. Taking cue from Kamban in the Avadhi language, Tulasidasa states Kankana kinkini nupuru dhuni suni. The moment he heard the jingling of the ankles, Rama and Sita looked at each other and they captured each other's appearances in their eyes. So there is a courtship which is mentioned in our Shastram. Next, we do a background check. If you go to any company, first when you give your CV, the HR will try doing one background check. Whether this person says that he has got some engineering degree. Is it truly that he has got the degree or he wanted to get the degree? There is a difference, right? So they will do a background check. They will check with the previous employer. They will ask for 2 references. There is one agency whom they will outsource to. They will do a background check. In marriages also, it was mandated in the arranged marriages. That is why they will say, know the family well. Abhijatyam. Abhijatyam means if you know the family well, it is better. So, in the last 100 years, there came a concept called Janavasam. People from the south of India will be aware of this samskaram. People in the north of India refer to that as Bharat. So you are made to sit on a horse or a chariot, at least an ambassador car with roses stuck with sellotape. And slowly that car will go in the Western Express Highway, will make way between the barricades put for the metro train and the footpath. Slowly that car will go. And the boy will be visible to the general crowd. Why? It was a background check. If the car goes slowly and the boy is seated there, imagine some mommy says, "Yo, iva ingathu karna." He is my husband. So this was a prudent way of doing the background check. So for Rama and Sita, was there a Bharat? We have no evidence of it in the Ramayana. Must have been done. But one thing was done. Rama claimed himself to be a Kshatriya. The guna of a Kshatriya is called Kshatram. Kshatram is the gunam of a Kshatriya. So he had to prove his prowess. Remember, there was essentially no Swayamvaram in the Ramayana. Generally, when we do it in our dance productions, there will be 4 kings seated. One will come and try to lift. He can't lift. He will fall. The other 3 will laugh. We do all that. Nothing of this is there in the Ramayana. It was a Dhanush Puja. You worship whatever gives you protection. What should we do? We should worship our tablet and Mac Pro. That gives us protection, right? All our passwords and security question are inside that. So they worshipped Shiva Dhanus. Dinakaranvayatilakam divyagadhi suta savana vanarachita subahu mukhavadham ahalya pavanam anagham isha chapa bhangam. Isha chapa bhangam. See, when Rama lifted the bow, first of all, he did not want to break it. That was not the contest. He had to go and test the bow. So while he lifted the bow and wanted to string it, because the tighter and the better you string, the arrow will move with a better velocity. So he pressed one end of the bow with his lotus petal-like toe, and the other end he tried to bend and string it. But the poet says the other end of the bow felt very bad, that it was bereft of the opportunity of having an association with his lotus-like feet. So the other end of the bow broke and fell at his feet. Look at the poet's imagination. Arunagirinatha, one of the staunch devotees of Kartikeya, he says in Tiruppugal, generally when you compare Rama's feet, you say lotus-like feet. With no political intent, I am telling you. It is always called Pundarikam, lotus-like feet. But Arunagirinatha says, Porpada Kamalangal, his feet is like gold. Feet, he doesn't say it is like lotus, he says gold. Why should he compare it with gold? Very intelligent comparison. Because when you go, let nobody come or seek this kind of a situation where one has to sell or pawn their jewelry to run their families. Nobody should get this, but I'm generally telling you, you go to, what is that jeweler? Vamanpete. Vamanpete. And you keep the gold chain there. First he will measure and see 40 grams. Then he will check if there is the triangle, trikonam, hallmark. Then he will check if it is 91.6% gold, 916. Then what will he do? He will test that chain. What will he test with? With a stone. What is this chain? Pure gold, 40 grams. Even if you take away the wastage and making charge, if you take 4,000 rupees also, 4,000 into 40 is 1,60,000 worth chain. What will tell that this chain is genuine? 20 rupees worth stone. He will rub it on that stone, and the 20 rupees stone will tell whether this is worth 1,60,000. So, how did Arunagirinatha know that Rama's feet were like gold? Because he touched a stone called Ahalya. And Ahalya got Shapa Vimochanam, thereby proving that Rama's feet is gold. So he says, so Rama achieved all of this. He comes into the Sabha Mantapam. And that is when Tyagaraja gives a slight twist. All this is not there in Valmiki Ramayanam, but it is always better to appreciate the literary nuances of the other Vagayakaras. Tyagaraja says Sita wanted to look at Rama because nobody could even lift a bow. This man lifted and broke. See, Rama's intent was not to break. He felt very bad when it broke. He said, Janaka, sorry sir, give me some arrol date. I will stick and give it to you. Janaka said, Kuch fikar mat kijiye Ram, marry my daughter. Rama was sorry. For breaking one bow, I have to marry your daughter. See, imagine you're going to somebody's house. They have some crystal. You're broken. At most, what you can do is you can replace it, check with Amazon or Flipkart if they have it. Instead, they say, marry my son. So Rama was surprised. So he looked at Dasharatha and said, wait, I can't marry your daughter immediately. Convey this news to my father. Only if he accepts, I'll marry. There was no exchange of garlands. In most of our dramas, Raman and Sagar will have a ready-made garland with Sita. Arun Govil will go, bend his head and she'll put. Nothing of this happened. He said, only if my father agrees, I'll marry. Here, Tyagaraja says Sita wanted to have a glimpse of that Rama because Tyagaraja assumes that Rama had never seen Sita. So she wanted to have a look at him, how good he is. Is he matching her expectations? Below expectations, she wanted to check. But she wanted to create a scenario in such a way that she is not being desperate about looking at him. So what she does is she lets her hands loose so that the bangles can just slowly come down. The Sairandrika Stris around said, Sita Mata, be careful, those beautiful antique bangles are coming down. By the time they were trying to fix, Sita through her corner glances had a look at Rama, it seems. Who saw Sita having this look? Tyagaraja says, I saw. Kala kala manu mukha palugaligina Sita kulu kuchunu oragannulanu juche ninnu kana kana ruchira kana kava sana ninnu. So Rama and Sita, they were married. And there were 3 other marriages. Who is the famous caterer? Rajashekara. One Rajashekar, 4 marriages in the same pandal. It was a big loss for the caterer because he thought he could have 4 different marriages. Same muhurtam, Dasharatha, being the modern, cost-effective corporate guru, conducted all the 4 marriages in the same pandal. Sita was 6, Rama was 12. If you go to Quora.com, some Brihaspati would have given some answers. This is approved by all our acharyas in their commentaries. You can go ask any person who has learnt it from the Puranas and not Wiki Purana. Rama was 12, Sita was 6. Now you may ask genuine questions. Sir, at the age of 6, will she have those natural romantic feelings towards Rama? I don't know, but Ramayana says she had. That's all. Next, Panigrahanam happens. This is a very important samskara in all our marriages. It is called Hastabandhanam, Panigrahanam. An angam of it is called Kanya or Kanyaka Danam. Our modern gurus will oppose that. How can you treat a woman like an object and objectify her and give her in marriage? All our Vokanayakas, Vokeshwaras, Vokswami, they will all ask. But I have no answer. If you wish to follow, follow. Else, see, in Sanatana Dharma, there is no monitoring body. Nobody will issue death sentence. If you want to follow, you follow. Else, don't. This is your own karma. That's all. Simple. Such a beautiful civilization. Here, the Panigrahanam happens. Janaka gives his daughter in marriage to Rama. Iyam Sita, Mama Suta, Sahadharma charitava praticha chainam bhadram te panin grinihishva panina pativrata mahabhaga chayevanu gata sada. This shloka is told in every marriage even till date. Iyam Sita, this is my daughter Rama. Don't think you're extremely well qualified, valorous, very good looking. Look at my daughter, Iyam Sita. She is much better than you in all aspects. Iyam Sita. What other aspect of hers is much better than mine? Asks Rama. She is my daughter, Mama Suta. Why is Janaka so great? Pradiptayam mithilayam name kinchit pradakhyate. Beautiful anecdote. Janaka Maharaja, he was a Raja Rishi. Though he was the ruler, he was detached from most of the possessions. So much so that his Acharya Yajnavalkya created an illusionary fire amidst the Praja, and the people were running hither and thither to protect their possessions. Janaka did not run. That is when the Acharya asked, you are the king of this entire region, you have a better palace and all these sophisticated possessions in your house to protect. Janaka, why are you not running to protect this from the fire? The Raja said, Pradiptayam mithilayam name kinchit pradahyate. Burning may be Mithila. Burning may be many objects, but none of it is mine. Mama. Name kinchit pradahyate. Nothing is mine. And that Janaka today tells Rama, Mama Suta, she is my daughter. So, if Sita has coaxed Janaka to say, she is my daughter, what must be the greatness of Sita? I am giving away that prized daughter of mine to you, Rama. Take care of her. Mama Suta. Saha dharma charitava. Maybe in your life, she may get kidnapped. Sita has got kidnapped. I will cry for 2 days. Next day I will marry Gita. Don't say that. If my daughter is kidnapped, you have to construct Setu, fight for her, kill all the demons and bring her back because she is my daughter, Mama Suta. Sahadharma charitava praticha chainam bhadramte panim grinhishva panina. Hold her carefully. Now you will be amazed. Sir, in this Dampatyam there is Panigrahanam. Where is Mangalya Dharanam? No mention of Mangalya Dharanam in Srimad Ramayana. There is no mantra also in our Grihya Sutras for Mangalya Dharanam. Of course, in the later scriptures, we have a mention of Mangalya Dharanam. It must have come between the Ramayana and the Mahabharata period. But in the Vedic period, Vedic times, there is no mention by any rishi of Mangalya Dharanam. Because while I was in Palakkad for lectures, one girl came and met me. She said, "Sir, I am going to get married soon. To tell the society that I am married, they are giving Mangalya Dharanam to me. Why not to my husband? Why can't he wear that Mangalya Sutram?" I said, "No problem, buy one more gold chain and put it for him. I will wear, if somebody gives me for 8 sovereigns, I will wear. No harm." So then you may again wonder, if you are saying Mangalya Dharanam, Mangalya Sutra nahi hai, तो मांगल्यम तंदुना नेना एक मंत्र है ना, उसको क्या करें? कुछ ना करें, because that is not mentioned by our rishis. When Vedam doesn't give a tune, A.R. Rahman will put tune for it. Mangalyam tanduna nena mama jivana. He has put the tune because there is no Vedic tune to it. Okay? So they got married. There must have been a conversation which was very private between the two. Valmiki doesn't mention. But Kamban mentions of it. It seems Sita entered the apartment of Rama. And Rama was about to just touch her hand. She said, "Don't touch. Macho." What did I do? While you entered Mithila, I have heard anecdotes, aithihyam, that your feet touched a stone and that stone turned into a lady. My father has adorned me with beautiful ornaments filled with stones. What if you touch me and every stone turns into a lady? Sir, boy, kya aisa question hai, sir? Huh? Such petty questions Sita will ask. No, what she meant was, like your father, if you're polygamous, how can we run such a relationship? That was the inner intent. Why? Who are the wives of Dasharatha? You should tell. Kaushalya, see, youngsters are telling. Only youngsters will be allowed from next time. Tell me. Stand up. Superman. And who is the third one? Sumitra. Very good. See, there is another youngster there. Very good. So, 3 wives. All of you agree? Some mommy is disagreeing. You ask that mommy why. Next answer. 60,000. Appadi, rumba jasi. 300. Next. 350. 250. 400. Is bidding happening here? 400 once, 400 twice, 400 twice. Okay. 350. One mommy says, I'll stick only to 350. 347. Very, mommy kita, you have to be very careful. 347. She gives the exact number. Okay. See, we don't know if it is 347, 350 or 353. But there is one shloka in the Ayodhya Kandam. Rama enters the apartment of Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi now says, your father asks you to go to the forest, Dandakavanam. And Rama goes back to Sita, talks to his mother's wife, and then comes back to the apartment. When Rama is trying to drape himself in Valkalam, the dress made from the bark of the tree. Relinquishing all his silk garments, there is a shlokam which says, half of 700 wives cried. Ardha Saptashatam. Ardha Saptashatam is 700 by 2. 350 wives of Dasharatha cried. There is a reference in the Ramayana. But we don't know if the 350 is inclusive of the 3, exclusive of the 3. So we have 3 possibilities. 347, 350, and then we have 353. Now, those were the wives. Now, Sita will be worried because the day she would have got married, she would have gotten introduced to that wife register. Because she has now 350 mothers-in-law. She won't even remember that name. It will look like an attendance register. Right? Now, she is worried, what if my husband follows the footsteps of his father? Correct? That is why there is an intelligent dialogue in the Balakandam. If you research on the Ramayana, I'm sure you will spend your entire life doing it. When Vasishtha comes from Ayodhya after learning the news that Rama has been able to break Shiva Dhanush, he comes and introduces Rama to Janaka. He says, Dasharatha is the father of Rama. Janaka, know that Dasharatha is the father of Rama, but he is a father for namesake. I am his father in most other ways. Because your teacher is also your father. So what he says is, Dasharatha is a namesake father, thereby giving the assurance to the father, don't worry, he will not be like his father, polygamous, he will be like me because I am married only to Arundhati. So that is why Sita says, what if you touch me and every precious stone which is adorning my body turns into a woman? That is when Rama said, even in my thoughts I shall not entertain another woman. Forget about even talking to another one. Even in my thoughts. Emmai karampatriya vaigalvai inda ippiravikku irumadarai en sindayalum toden is the verse from Kambaramayana. So this was the understanding between the couple. Next. We have one place, now Sita was 6, Rama was 12. They lived in Ayodhya for another 12 years happily. What happened in the 12 years, sir? Everything was fine. There was a foreign intervention. Manthara came from Kekaya Desham. In the internal democracy, that is why we oppose when somebody else writes op-ed articles in their own newspapers about our country. So here Manthara came, and that is when Rama was to be sent to the forest. Prior to this, Dasharatha asks, is my son capable enough of ruling? He asks his praja. Each one says he's filled with valor, he is very, very patient, filled with perseverance, very good looking. They give some list of a rigmarole of qualities. That is when Vasishtha stands and says, you know why Rama is capable to become the next Raja? Because his wife is good. What is the dharmam there? More than the people coming to power, the family members around them should not misuse that power. That is the point, right? If his wife is good is the answer, then people around that person, if you check most of the allegations, it will not be on a single person, it will be on the entire family. Father, daughter, father, son, son, mother. All the allegations will be on the family. Here he says, Tayyilum Nallal, his wife is good, so he can come to power. Look at the nuances of dharmam in Ramayanam. That is when he has been ordained to go to the forest. Now Rama comes to Sita's apartment. He says, Sita, the world is really small. Let us stay in touch. Keep your mobile data on. I will send you messages. I will miss you a lot. Thank you, Mua. He had to leave. That is when Sita said, where are you going? Why all these farewell speeches, vote of thanks? Rama said, I've been ordained to go to the forest for 14 years. I will miss you a lot, Sita. She said, where are you leaving me? In Ayodhya, to your 350 mothers. It is better I come with you. That is when Rama says, Durgam Vanam. See, forest is full of sufferings. 3 sargas, close to about 150 shlokas in Ayodhya Kandam, is envisioned as a conversation between the man and his wife. Sita, Rama would say it is filled with bears and lions. Sita would say, you are the lion to me. Why should I worry about that Gir forest lion? Then Rama would say, there will be only kandamula phalaihi. There will be only tubers and fruits available. Sita said, even my dietitian says have only fruits. She also suggests have quinoa, brown rice, no sugar, A2 milk, oatmeal, oatmeal milk, oat milk, soya milk, groundnut milk, any milk but the cow. So that is what my vegan friend says. Rama, I will join you. Then Rama would say, there will be many thorns. The pathways will be infested with thorns. Sita would say, Akantakan, I will walk in front of you, take away those thorns and keep the path thorn free for you, Rama. So it's a beautiful conversation. That is when Sita tells one interesting anecdote. Imagine this conversation between the couple. Sita says, see, Sita is now what age? 18, very good. Because 6 plus 12, remember? What is Rama? 24, but his 25th birthday had come. Just because he is 25, you should not make her 19. Simple maths, because both husband and wife need not have the birthday on the same day. Correct? So, Sita says, while I was in my father's house, when did she exit her father's house? 6 years. Within this, she will tell 100 anecdotes. She says, while I was in my father's house, it comes in around the Sarga of 25, 26 in Ayodhya Kandam. She says, once I eavesdropped into a conversation where the rishis were telling my father, your daughter will have a lovely life. She'll spend a considerable time in the forest. The rishis said. Then she says, my mother wanted to cross-check. So she called a foreteller, one who talks about the fortune. That fortune teller said, looking at my palm, that your daughter will surely spend time in the forest. Rama, trust me. That day itself, I had packed my clothes for the forest. See my Samsonite suitcase. It is mentioned Dandakaranyam forest, Chhattisgarh, India. See? Rama says, so what? Why should I bring you? She says, no, don't think that I shall experience Swargam in Ayodhya. Wherever you are, I will try making the best opportunity and be happy with you. It's a beautiful conversation between the man and his wife. Towards the end, see, Sita, if you take her as a patram in the Ramayana, is a very enlightened, very well spoken woman. But there are 2-3 instances where she is a person who makes hasty words. She will utter words, later repent. One such instance is this. She says, Kim tvam anyata vaidehaha pita me mithiladipah rama jamataram prapya striyam purusha vigraham. Kim tvam anyata vaidehaha. She says, Rama, I will not come to the forest. No, Rama was surprised. 40 dialogues, she said, I will come. 41st, she says, I will not come. Why, Sita? My father has committed a grave mistake. Why are you dragging your father in this conversation? Kim tvam anyata vaidehaha. My father thought that he has found a son-in-law who is as brave and powerful as him. Kim tvam anyata vaidehaha. Just with his eye glances, those benign glances, he is able to protect the subjects in Mithila and in Videha Desham. He thought that he has got a son-in-law who is akin him. Little did he realize that what he has got is a man who tried to break a broken bow. What is that broken bow? Remember, Shiva's bow had a crack. It was not usable. Like most of our pens. If you go to any house, no pen will write. Have you checked that? You want to sign some paper, you take that pen will not write. My house, any house I go, for pen that is the karma. Then 20 minutes you will search and you will get one pen with little ink. And especially the pen next to, when we had those landlines, they will have 50 pens there. Nothing will write. So Shiva's bow had a crack. So it became an antique piece in their house. So Sita tells, the world sees you as a person, Anagham Isha Chapa Bhangam, the one who broke Shiva's bow. But little does the world know, it was a broken bow that you broke. A civil engineer takes me to his redeveloped apartment. He says, देखिए, मैंने ही construct किया. First thing, I'll see the air crack. इसको भी आपने construct किया? हाँ, वो off free में आता है. So, Sita says, you broke a broken bow and you're trying to tell the world that you've proven your prowess. Kim tva manyata vaidehaha pita me mithiladipah. You know what he has got in return as a son-in-law? He has got a scarecrow. In the field, scarecrows will be kept to scare the pigeons away. They will be having one gun, one bow. But can the scarecrow fight? No. You are holding one kodandam and a quiver of arrows like a scarecrow. You can't fight. What is that? Pappu can't dance. There is one dance, right? You can't fight, Rama. No, that is a song. Don't take it otherwise. There is one song like that. While I was here in Bombay, I have heard that movie song. Kim tva manyata vaidehaha pita me mithiladipah rama jamataram prapya. By obtaining you as a son-in-law, striyam purusha vigraham. He has gotten a woman in the disguise of a man. Rama said, you come with me. Rama could have seriously avoided this scenario. But our thalla eduthu appadi. Now, be very vigilant. This sentence of Sita hurt Rama immensely. See, but there is one quality mentioned in Ayodhya Kandam of Rama. Vasishtha says this. Dasharatha asks, what is something special about my son? You know what Vasishtha says? You cannot gauge whether he is happy or sad from his expressions. Certain people can show off those emotions very easily. I keep looking at faces, right? Whether they are happy with the lecture, whether they repent for having come, whether they will make hasty decisions to leave in the midway, I can always keep gauging. That is why I said reduce the light that time. Some people will never show it on their faces. So that is a great quality of a leader. See, some leaders will come for press conference and start crying. You should not show such emotions in the public. Here, Rama did not show as if he was hurt by Sita's words. He said, Sita, come with me. But this hurt him. We will see how he finds a balm to it. Now, Sita and Rama go to the apartment of Dasharatha. And then Dasharatha says, my daughter-in-law should not suffer. Let her go with the silk clothes. She is given the silk clothes and all the jewelry she goes. She does not wear valkalam. If our directors give robes to Sita, saffron robes, they have not read the Ramayana. She goes with silk clothes. Now you may wonder, sir, as per an article by William Jonas in 1789, silk was brought into India by China. Sorry, in the Ramayana, there are 3 instances where silk is mentioned. Even in the 2nd century, Kalidasa says, Chinam Shukaihi, the flag had the silk of China. So we were aware of China silk. In the Ramayana, there is no mention of China, but there is mention of silk. Fine. Now Sita has to leave. When Sita and Rama leave the apartment, that is when Lakshmana catches hold of their feet. Sabhratus charanau gadham nipidya raghunandanaha Sita muvachatishayam raghavam cha mahavratam aham sarvam karishyami jagrataha swapataschate. Lakshmana says, I've caught hold of both your feet, Sita Babhi and Ram Bhaiya. Please take me along. I will do whatever you want. I will wash the utensils, I will cook. I will bring the fuel, I'll sweep. I will mop, I will cut the vegetables. I will protect you. Sita said, don't leave him, bring him along. सभी करने के लिए तैयार है वो, क्यों छोड़ेंगे? So he says, aham sarvam karishyami jagrataha swapataschate. Whether you are awake or sleeping, I will do all this. You don't have to keep telling me every day. I will do all of this. So what does this instance prove? In Sita Rama Dampatyam, there is a point mentioned by Vedanta Deshika in Abhay Pradhana Saram. One lady called Shurpanakha sought only Rama. She didn't want Sita. She lost her nose and parts of her ear. Her brother Ravana sought only Sita and not Rama. He lost all his 10 heads. Lakshmana sought both Rama and Sita. He became the biggest devotee of Rama and Sita. So the commentator says, when you are seeking their grace, Gadhopa Gudhanite, seek the grace of the couple. See, I'll give you one instance. In marriages, technically in most marriages, Vaidika marriages, they will keep one wooden plank for the boy to sit, for the groom to sit. Then there will be another wooden plank placed for the bride, the girl to sit. As per Shastram, this is wrong. If you have got a well-read priest who has studied in the traditional way and not from Viki Purana, the Purohita, even if there are 2 planks, he will keep one mat over the 2 planks and join them. Because Shastram says that Pati and Patni should not sit on Eka Simhasanam. Even in the Simhasanam, they should not be separated. In the movies you will see, the Raja will be seated on one pedestal, Rani will be 4 steps below. This is wrong depiction. They have to sit on Eka Simhasanam. Sita Yasaha Sucharitra Parama Pavitra Guru Guha Mitra Pankaja Mitra Vamsha Sudha Buddhi Chandra Midini Palarama Chandrama Mava Pattabhirama Sitaya Saha. Along with Sita, you have to be seated on the mat. Now, as soon as Lakshmana also walked with them in the forest, there are 2-3 instances, very interesting instances to describe their Dampatyam. When Rama meets Guha of the Nishada Jati in Shringiberapura, Guha knew Rama very well because every day in the Times of Ayodhya newspaper, only Rama's news used to come. So Guha introduced himself. I am Guh. Mera naam hai Guh. Aap kaise ho? Now Rama has to introduce Guha to Sita. What is the right way of introducing? You have to call Sita and say, Sita, this is my new acquaintance Guha. We are both LinkedIn friends. In our professional network, we have linked. Now, this is Guha. Sita, he is my good friend. From today onwards, treat him as your friend. This is how the conversation should be. You know what Rama says? Sita, this is Guha. He is your friend. So, he is my friend. This is the dialogue. Why? Only if you approve of my friendship, I will accept him as my friend. Such was the understanding between the man and his wife, Dampatyam. If you get into the nuances of the Ramayana, Madhuram, Madhuraksharam, every letter will be drenched and soaked in honey. Next. There is, now I am going to go off track. Sir, most of the times you do that. Ek instance hai kya? See, when Bharata comes to Chitrakuta, Chitrakuta is in the upper part of Madhya Pradesh, bordering Uttar Pradesh, on the banks of river Mandakini. Bharata comes and says, no bhaiya, you should come back to Ayodhya. Aapke bina main kaise udhar reh sakta hu? I'll become sad. That is when Rama says, see, I have promised my father that I will stay in the forest for 14 years. Now that I know that Dasharatha is dead, if I come back to Ayodhya, it will be like the Kali Yugam leaders who will go to jail for 100 days and come back. None of them will get caught. So, I should stay in the forest for 14 years to prove and exemplify to the world what Pitrivakya Paripalanam is. Bharata said, Aapke bina nahi ja sakta hu bhaiya. Sita won't leave Rama, nor will Lakshmana. Rama will not come back to Ayodhya. Bharata has to go back to Ayodhya. Rama wanted to solve this situation. So he says, Lakshmana, go get that pair of, yeah. Immediately all the news channels focused on Lakshman. What is he going to get? Lakshmana brought the pair of padukas and placed it on the ground. Rama stood on it, got down from it, and then he said, Adhiroharya padabhyam paduke hemabhushite. Keep these pair of holy padukas on Bharata's head and take her away. Sir, there is a grammatical mistake, sir. He should have said, take it. Why did he say her? Because in Sanskritam, paduka is strilingam. So the pair of padukas is treated as a devi, paduka devi. Why is she a devi? Because as per Samudrika Lakshana Shastram, at the top she is broad, the paduka becomes thin in the middle, then goes back broad at the bottom. Like how the man and the woman should be shaped. So she is paduka devi. So Vedanta Deshika says in Paduka Sahasram, Rama, I feel you are attached to two Devis. One is Paduka Devi, the other is Sita Devi. One is obedient, one is disobedient. When you said Sita, don't come to the forest, she came. When you said don't ask for the deer, she asked. Whereas the other Devi, Paduka Devi, you said come along with me from Ayodhya, she came. Then when you said go back with Bharata, she went. So which of the two Devis you like, Rama? Asks Vedanta Deshika. Paduka Devi or Sita Devi? Now, after they get into the forest, now imagine, we often are told, Rama spent 14 years in the forest. There is no such sadness attached to that 14 years. For Rama and Sita, 13 out of the 14 years was like a resort in Lonavala. See, nobody will meet them. They have to get up in the morning. Sita will give the menu to Lakshmana. Previous day itself, she'll say, Abhi paryushan hai, undiyo banao. Undiyo bana dega. Undiyo che. He will do then tepla. She'll give one cuisine. One day nachos, one day lasagna. One day she'll go south also. Okay. All our Puranas have no north-south divide. One day she'll make dosa, bisi bele baat, nammur kadenu bartare. So one day she will become Tamil. Yanakku parupurundai kolambai seyya vendum. You know, when you have to speak in Tamil, you have to get that voice. So, 13 out of the 14 years, Sita and Rama had the best of their life. It was a golden period. Where does this feature? You should see. I don't know if you have heard of this work. I will ask you one question. Uttara Rama Charitram. Who wrote this? Very good. Who said that? Give big claps to him. See, youngsters are doing very well. Get up. You see who that bhaiya is? He has given that answer. Say hi, Vijay. Hi. You then contact that bhaiya. So, the composer is Bhavabhuti. Great Sanskrit poet and dramatist. He wrote Uttara Rama Charitram. Please, when you have time, download that book and read. We have bequeathed such rich literature in our civilization. At least we should know the names of those works. Forget reading. Beautiful work. Uttara Rama Charitram. It is said that after the Pattabhishekam of Rama, Rama was 41, Sita was... Rama was 39, Sita was 33. So, after the Pattabhishekam, Rama commissioned a project with the artists. He said, from our life, Sita and my life, you have to choose 15 to 20 incidents and paint them. Let there be a gallery. Sita and Rama hold their hands and walk through that gallery. Very beautiful drama. So, they will look at every picture and Sita will say, what a great time we had. So there will be 5-6 paintings in the forest. She'll say, what a great time we went, Valmiki. We met Agastya, Rama. Now that I'm pregnant, if at all my children are born and nourished, they should be living in the forest, is one dialogue in Uttara Ramacharitra. So 13 of the 14 years were extremely memorable to the couple. That is when a lot of memories will come in Sundarakandam. One such place comes in Panchavati, Panchavatam. Vatam is Banyan. Banyan also has the name Nyagrodha. Nyagrodhakshiram. Rama uses that. Remember, when he enters Shringiberapuram, Rama says, go get the milk from the Nyagrodha Vriksham, banyan tree. Because if you use that milk of banyan tree and tie your hair, that will not fly. What is that? Set wet. Like set wet, it will stay. If at all you all have time, go to this temple called as Tirucherai. I told you, carry a book and pen. Tirucherai. You can even audio record my lecture. No copyright problem. You can record. So there is one kshetram called Tirucherai, which is about 7 kilometers from the temple town of Kumbhakonam in Tamil Nadu. When you have darshan of the principal deity there called as Saranatha Swami, on the right you will see a Sannidhi. Please make good friends with the Bhattar Swami. With all humility, ask him, don't tell my name. Tell him, I have heard that there is a Rama Bimbam here. He will know who has told you this. He will take you inside that Sannidhi. If you see Rama there, you will be stunned. That Rama's Divyamangala Vigraham will have a jata. And there will be a mirror kept in the behind. You will see how beautifully the jata has been put on his head. So Rama used Nyagrodhakshiram. He says, Lakshmana, we have to tie our hair. So for 14 years, no barber. It was like that COVID period. No barber. And Rama would have diksha. When there is no barber, he will have a long beard and a mustache. So the first thing Bharata arranges in the 117th Sarga of Yuddhakandam is Shmashru Vardhanaha. The moment Rama enters Ayodhya, he says, Rama, go to the barber place. Mashru Vardhanan means barber. So Rama takes his jata, all his mustache. Now you may say, no sir, Kshatriya should have mustache. Have you heard of this line? There is no rule. There is no rule that Kshatriyas should have mustache. So he takes his mustache and dadi away. But what happened with Adi Purush? They kept only mustache. That was wrong. That is why before taking a movie and spending 500 crores, it is better you consult. Let's get back to the point. Now he says Nyagrodhakshiram, and Rama was with jata and this, and then he goes to a place called Panchavatam. There are 5 banyans. That place is recognized as Nashik in Maharashtra. So in Panchavatyam, Rama says, Lakshmana, please construct a hermitage for us. So Lakshmana says, Babhi or Bhaiya, you go take a stroll and come. I will construct one hermitage. After the hermitage was constructed, he shows him demo. If you go to any apartment, they will show you a model apartment, right? So Rama goes within that apartment, within that ashramam. And he looks at Lakshmana and says one shloka. If you go to the translation, you know what it will say? O Lakshman, with the emotion, with the sincerity, you have constructed a hermitage for us. You have not lost your father. I have. Close quotes. This is the translation. I will tell you what this shloka means because the commentator Govindaraja in Sanskritam has commented for about 4 pages on this shloka. What is this shloka? Rama looks at Lakshmana and says, Bhavagyena kritagyena dharmagyena cha Lakshmana tvaya putrena dharmatmana samvrita pita mama. He says, Bhavagyena, you have understood the bhavam, the emotion well, Lakshmana. Why? Because Lakshmana, who had constructed the hermitage for the couple to stay, had constructed a private room within that house. Why? The commentator says, even without Rama giving such a requirement to Lakshmana, Lakshmana thought there may be certain conversations that the couple may want to have in my absence. So I should create a private space in the ashramam, and he created that one. The moment Rama saw, he knew with what intent Lakshmana had constructed and said, Bhavagyena. See, understand the nuances. Rama has come to the forest. There was no impending rule that Sita had to come. But Sita persuaded and she came. There was no rule for Lakshmana to come. Imagine we are in 2023 and Lakshmana was amidst us and I was Sumitra. My son comes and says, father has to go to the forest, I will go. What will I say? Nee edukku pora? Ulla vandru. அவர் ஏதோ பண்ணிட்டு போறார், ஏண்டா அவனுக்கு அஷடு அஷடு. Won't I say that? तुम क्यों, why do you want to volunteer for such services? Just say bye, say you will miss. भैया मैं आपको बहुत मिस करूंगा, टच में रहना. Just say that. Would have been Sumitra. If I had been Sumitra, I would have told that. But what did Sumitra say? You have to go. Now what would have been Urmila's position? See, there is no instance where he goes and asks Urmila's permission. In my opinion, she would have been happy. But imagine Rama's state. He is with his wife, but his younger brother is without his wife. He cannot go tell Lakshmana, Lakshmana, construct one private room for me and Sita. We want to talk. No. Lakshmana knew this even without his brother telling, so he says, Bhavagyena, Kritagyena, Dharmagyena cha Lakshmana. Now that was constructed. Then what is there about this Dampatyam? Here, there is one place where Shurpanakha comes, she conveys her love to Rama. Rama says, I am already married, I can't marry you. Then she goes and repeats the same dialogue to Lakshmana. She says, you are so handsome, fair and lovely, L'Oreal, Lakme. Then Lakshmana says, see, in this house I have been asked to wash the utensils. If you marry me, you will get your fair share of washing. Are you ready for it? So that is when she understands that Sita has been the cause, and while she rushes to kill Sita, Lakshmana reprimands her and assaults her physically. Shurpanakha, she gets out of that Panchavati and she goes and complains to her brothers Khara, Dushana and Trishiras, who have been stationed in Janasthana, which was the second capital of Dandakavanam. It is around that Vidarbha, Nagpur region. So Khara, Dushana and Trishiras, as a big army of 14,000 demons, Rakshasas, march towards Rama. Now note this very carefully. 14,000 Rakshasas are coming, and Rakshasas don't fight with sophisticated weapons. They will have one cycle chain, soda bottle, 7 o'clock blade. That is how they will fight. None of their weapons will be sophisticated. So they were all coming with such unsophisticated weapons, and they won't adhere to the rules of the war. They will not fight from the sunrise to the sunset. Whenever they want, they will fight. And who is Rama? Rama is a stickler to the rules. He will show his hand and put the indicator. Both. Rule following Rama. So that is when the rishis say, Ekascha Ramo Dharmatma Katham Yuddham Bhavishyati. On one side is one Rama. On the other side there is a number of 14,000. On one side is Rama who sticks to Dharma. On the other side are the Rakshasas who do not know an iota of what Dharma is. How will the 14,000 Adharmikas fight the one Dharmika called Rama? Even if you are one and opposition is many, you can always fight. Rama proves that. If you read Raghuvamsham of Kalidasa, you will be amazed. Now what Rama should have ideally done? He should have said, Bhabi ko ashram mein bitha do, Lakshman, tu mere saath aao, come Lakshman. He should have said. But it doesn't happen that way. What he does is, he says, Lakshmana, take Sita atop the mountain. There is a cave there. From that, you observe what I am doing. It is like that corporate box in IPL. After the 50th ODI, Virat will show, Anushka will catch. So let Sita and Lakshmana stay there. And Rama says, I will handle them. Lakshmana was worried. No, Rama, I will join you. No, do what I say. Take Sita there and observe from there. Sita and Lakshmana were worried. They were petrified looking at the 14,000 demons, cycle chain, soda bottle, cutting shaker, soda kabali. All of them were coming. So now Rama, Ekascha Ramo Dharmatma, when Rama stands, see, that is an art. every part of our Shastras even advises how we should stand. See, in the marriages, you must have noticed there will be one big line to give gifts to that couple. For getting moksham, at least if we stand in the line in Tirupati, it makes sense. In the marriage, we will be standing to meet this couple, to give those 2 ever silver tumblers, which we may have got from them. So, they'll be standing. Now the parents, see, most of us, we do not know how to pose for photos. We will be standing in attention for national anthem. Then the photographer will say, inga parango, smile, smile. It will go on one side, then he'll say smile on both sides. Then he'll say, don't show your teeth, sumara irukku, vaai mudikungo. He will do so many things. Then when we look, now we have gone to the next stage. It is called candid photography. Correcta kottavi vidumbodhu edupar. Ulagamunda veruvaya, ulappil keetti ammane, that photo he will take. He will choose one very bad profile of us and will put. Samudrika Lakshana Shastram and Natya Shastram says, be it the man or the woman, even when you stand naturally, you should stand in a tribhangam. Both your feet should not be straight, one should be bent. One knee should be bent and your hip should tilt. It is called tribhangam. In 3 places there should be a tilt. Practice. We will get sprain. Now, when Rama was standing with the bow, in Natya Shastram, you have to stand like this because the arrow will be here, the bow will be here, you have to stand in a tribhangam. Please go to all the Rama Darshanam in Bharatadesham. Of course, Ayodhya is Rama Lalla, baby Ram. I do not know many temples in the north of India, forgive me. There is one Devaprayag which has a Raghunatha Swami temple. You come to the south, filled with Rama temples. You go to Madhurantakam near Chennai. He is called Karunakara. Extremely handsome. You go further south to Divyadeshams where Rama is reclining. Pullambudangudi and Velliyangudi. He is called Kolavil Raman and Valvil Raman. Easily 1800-year-old temples of the Chola and the Pallava architecture. There is one kshetram called Tillai Valaham. If you look at Rama's Divyamangala Vigraham, you can find the nerves on that Vigraham. You go to the outskirts of Tanjavur, in a village called Punnainallur, there is a murti in Shalagrama stone. You go to a temple called Vaduvur. The lips of Rama can captivate your minds. Kandavartam manambalangum kannaburattin karumaniye. You go to a kshetram, Anantarama Dikshitar gave 48 days of Ramayanam in that temple. It is called Triprayar, near Thrissur. He is Rama there. You go to a kshetram called Hire Magaluru. Karnataka Pradeshadalli hogidre, ondu rajake ibru idru. Chikka Magalu, Hire Magalu. Elder daughter, younger daughter. Younger daughter became Chikka Magaluru. The elder daughter became Hire Magaluru. Excellent Rama Tirumeni. Filled with Rama temples. Who will forget Bhadrachalam? Anupamanamai ati sundaramai dhanarucha kramulu dhaga dhaga meri sedi adhigo bhadradri gautami idigo chudandi. Extremely handsome. Now let us come back to our lecture topic. Now Rama was standing like this with Tribhangam. The 14,000 demons are approaching. Kalidasa was wondering in Raghuvamsham what to write. For a moment he made this involuntary act of winking his eyes and he opened. Kalidasa writes in Raghuvamsham, for a second I saw 14,000 Ramas fighting the demons. Why? Because the gap, the time gap between Rama taking his arrow from the quiver, fixing it in the bow and releasing it and taking the next one was not there. There was nanosecond gap. So it looked as if 14,000 arrows were being let and they all 13,999 demons died. But Valmiki is a realistic director. Rama also had his fair share of wounds because our director, our hero will fight with 100 people. Not even one drop of sweat will come. Our hero is like that. But Rama had Rudhiram, blood oozing from various places. Finally, they were all vanquished and Rama turns. Sita and Rama are looking from that corporate box in that cave. It is red. His complexion is dark. Maragata mani maya chela mamavara ghurama Maragata mani shyama mamava. All our acharyas have wondered what is the exact complexion of Rama. It seems it was the tinge of the grey and the black from the rain-bearing clouds, the black from the collyrium, green from the emerald, and the blue from the seas. If you mix them together, whatever color you get, that is his color. From one angle, you will have Nylum, blue. From Maragatam, emerald. From the top, you will see black. Finally, he was not fair. And if we keep a fair hero, we are unfair. He is dark. So in that dark body, red was quite visible. The moment Sita saw him, there is a shlokam in the Ramayanam. Tam drishtva shatruhantaram maharshinam sukhavaham babhuva hrishta vaidehi bhartaram parishasvaje. This is the shloka. 20 pages of commentary for this shloka. Tam drishtva, looking after having seen Rama, past participle. Tam drishtva, after having seen Rama. Why? Which Rama? The same Rama whom she said Striyam Purusha Vigraham before leaving to the forest, looking at that Rama. See, Rama turns towards Sita and smiles. Sita too smiles. Lakshmana did not know why they are smiling at each other, because Rama wants to subtly hint that this is the answer to that accusation in Ayodhya Kandam. Tam drishtva shatru hantaram maharishinam sukhavaham. By fighting the Rakshasas, I have just not captivated your mind. Maharishinam sukhavaham. I have brought mirth to the minds and the hearts of the Maharishis. Sukhavaham. Sita came running. Babhuva Hrishta Vaidehi. She was 2 steps behind. Then she looked at his eyes and went forward. Vaidehi. Why instead of the word Sita, Valmiki says Vaidehi? Because she said, Kim tvam anyata Vaidehaha. My father made a mistake. So that daughter of that father, Babhuva Hrishta Vaidehi, she went 2 steps closer to Rama. Bhartaram Parishasvaje. She hugged him, embraced him to tell, just because I bluttered that sentence out, should you have to go through so much of pain? And she hugged him. Bhartaram Parishasvaje, for which the commentator says, Parishasvaje means embraced completely. It doesn't mean only embraced. Parishasvaje means embraced wholeheartedly. That time the commentator says Rama was of the thought, I should have been hurt even more. For this she has embraced me like this. Had I got 2 more wounds, she would have embraced me much better. Bhartaram Parishasvaje. Now poor Lakshmana did not know about that dialogue, neither about this. He said, and he had to cook the evening meal. For him, that was the next problem. So he went, So in this Dampatyam, then came Ravana, who abducted Sita. Again, look at this nuance. While Rama left Panchavati behind the deer, he said, Lakshmana, take care. That is when they heard Maya Swaram. And Sita thought that Rama was afflicted in wounds and said, Lakshmana, you leave this place. Lakshmana said, nothing will happen to my brother. Asahaya Shura, Anapaya Sahasa. That is when Sita says, I thought you were selflessly serving us like a son all these years. Little did I realize that in your brother's absence, you may want to have a relationship with me. Words of Sita in Aranya Kandam. She character maligns Lakshmana. This man who had left his comforts, left his wife, cooking for 365 days, 13 years. She says, you are waiting for your brother to leave this place. Lakshmana puts his head down and sheds tears and says, Mata, after I have heard this, if I stay here, then I am proving you right. Let the Vanadevatas protect you, Mata. And he left. No Lakshman Rekha, fire, VFX, kuch bhi nahi hai. Then Ravana comes, he lifts Sita with one hand, thigh, other hand braid. She shouts as usual, Bachao, Bachao. He carries her. Now, on the way, they spot Jatayu, and Jatayu's wings are chopped off, and Jatayu falls on the ground. Sita jumps from the chariot, and she goes and embraces Jatayu and says, you are like my father. You have lost your life in the sake of protecting me. And again he pulls her and takes her away to Lanka. Now Rama and Lakshmana come. The moment he sees Jatayu dying, Rama understands and forgets that he is a Manushya. As a Paramatma, he says, Gaccha lokan anuttaman, go to moksham. Lakshmana is pinching him, sir, this is out of syllabus. You should not give moksham and all for normal birds. No, only Paramatma does. Why was Rama forced to give? Because one Acharya says he was able to spot some golden dust on Jatayu. Because Sita embraced Jatayu, Hiranya Varnam Harinim. When my wife has blessed him, I will give him moksham. Shubhanitila Jatayu moksha phalada pavamana Veera sutudu kana kana ruchira, says Tyagaraja. Now, Rama goes in search, he enters Karnataka Pradesham, Bellari. That is when Sugriva says, you have also lost your wife, even I have lost my wife. Same pinch. In your vulnerable times, you need to make alliances with unequal partners. So Rama kept quiet. And that is when Rama used to cry every night in Rishyamukha Parvatam. That is when there is a dialogue in Kishkindha Kandam. Sugriva goes and tells Rama, somehow Rama, even I am separated from my wife. Somehow I am not getting tears at all. How are you crying? Should we cry? Is there any particular rule? Rama did not know what answer to give to this Vanara. And the person who was spotted by Sugriva for Rama Kainkaryam was Hanuman, who was a Naishtika Brahmachari. Boys only school he has studied. Not even one girl in his friends list in Insta or FB page. Not even one girl. He was wondering, why is this man crying over Sita's kidnapping? It has happened. Ponal pogattum poda. Why is this Rama lamenting? That is when Rama thought, if at all there is one person who should go and see Sita, it is this Hanuman. Then only he will realize what kind of a person I am feeling for. So he gives the ring. Hanuman flies. He goes to Lanka. Now he has to spot Sita. What was his feeling before meeting Sita? Why is Rama crying over Sita's kidnapping? The moment he sees Sita, you know what is the shlokam in Sundarakandam? Dushkaram kritavan Ramaha hinoya danaya prabhu dharayatyatmano deham nashoke navasidati. Hanuman says, what a stone-hearted person this Rama must be after having been separated from a gem like Sita, he still manages to survive. Before meeting her, he thought, why is that man crying? Suddenly he goes to Amma's party. Change. Then he compares. See, most directors will show, right? They will split the screen into two halves. Hero will be there. Heroine will be in some dungeon, kidnapped by the villain. Hero will be searching in the railway station. Then they will show interval and you will spend more in the popcorn and juice and come. Correct? Now, Valmiki also gives a beautiful Jodi comparison. Hanuman has seen Rama. Hanuman is seeing Sita. Now he compares the both of them. Tulya Shila Vayo Vrittam Tulya Abhijana Lakshanam. Raghavorhati Vaidehim Tanchayam Asitekshana. Tulya Sheela. He says, with respect to the qualities, attributes, Tulya Sheela. I think Rama is a very good match to Sita. Sheela, Vayas, age. Two people come in the lift. Punna, yo, wife, sir. Tulya Sheela Vayo Vrittam, character. Mami, நீங்க மட்டும்தான் வந்தேளா கதைக்கு? அவர் வரலையா? அவர் நல்லத்துக்கெல்லாம் வரமாட்டார். Tulya Sheela Vayo Vrittam. Tulya Abhijana Lakshanam. Both of them come from such enriching family backgrounds. Raghavorhati Vaidehim. Hanuman says, for that Raghava, it is this Vaidehi. For this Vaidehi, it is that Raghava. But he becomes extremely intelligent. He says, Tanchayam Asidekshana. For this beautiful eyed Sita, Rama is a match in all these aspects. What is the logical conclusion? Rama was a good match to Sita in all the aspects except the eyes, which means Sita was able to get that extra brownie point over Rama with her mercy-filled eyes. Tanchayam Asitekshana. Now Sita performed Sandhya Vandanam. Hanuman saw that. Then after that he conveys to Sita, Sita Mata, I am Hanuman. Now Sita is very careful. Show your Aadhaar card. मुझे कैसा पता होगा तू have come from Bharat Desh only, you could have come from Bangladesh. Even if I come from Bangladesh, I can get Aadhaar card, madam. He is Hanuman. So, that is when Sita asks, tell me Rama's height. This was her first entrance question. Tell me Rama's height. You know what Hanuman says? 8 feet. That is the answer in Sundarakandam. Rama is 8 feet. How are his eyes described? Hanuman says, I wish to compare his eyes with the petals of a newly blossomed lotus. But I just fear that the lilies will sue me in the court as to why you did not compare his eyes with me. His eyes are beyond comparison. Katidhatita mekhala Khachita mani kantika Patalanina dena bibhrajyamanam Kutila pada ghatita samkula Shinjite natam Chatula Chatula natana Samujvala Vilasam bhavayami Gopala balam Anupamam, no comparison. Sita said, correct answer. That is the answer. No comparison to Rama's eyes. Then Hanuman gives the ring to Sita. Now Sita accepts that ring. Grihitva prekshamanasa bhartukkara vibhushanam bhartaram iva samprapta janaki mudita bhavatu, says Valmiki. She was so happy as if even if Rama was present physically, she would have preferred the ring to Rama. Imagine Rama is there and his ring is there. She will still prefer the ring. The commentator asks why. Because this was the ring given by her father in Rama's marriage. Father had used to put 50 rupees in chit in that jewellery. Some Nepal jewellery. Nepal lal, jewellery lal, some lal was there. He used to put, and he brought that ring. He gave away 2 things to Rama. One the ring, second Sita. Rama has lost Sita. At least he has that ring, Sita will be happy. Grihitva prekshamana saidi. Yennadan tholachirkar modratiyad olunga vechinduke ashadu appdi nenichu. So then she gave Chudamani. And then Hanuman comes to meet Rama. The moment he sees Hanuman, Rama knew that he has seen Sita. Because Hanuman came with that extra layer of aura. Ashta Siddhi नवनिधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पास सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा. Since Hanuman has been blessed by the eye glances of Sita, remember Shastram says when Mahalakshmi looks, yasyam yasyam dishi viharate devi drishtistvadiya tasyam tasyam aham ahamikam dhanvate sampadoghaha. Just looking at Hanuman, Rama knew that he has been blessed bountifully by Sita. When you all leave this auditorium, people will know that there is an extra aura in all of you. You have listened to Ramayana. So immediately he embraced. Apara paravara. When you have been blessed by Sita, a compatible husband will immediately agree. He will put the second tick and he embraced Hanuman. Later, towards the end in Yuddha Kandam, it so happens that after Rama has vanquished Ravana in the Yuddham, he tells Vibhishana, he tells Hanuman first, Hanuman, you go and inform Sita that Rama has won Ravana in the Yuddham. Hanuman goes. Hanuman is very happy because last time he stopped her suicide. See, in Sundarakandam, she was about to hang herself from the branch of Shimshupa Vriksham. Hanuman only stopped. Now he is very happy, at least now he is not going like emergency ambulance. He is going happily. So he goes and tells Sita, Mata, don't worry, Rama has won the war. Sita says, Hanuman, what kind of a person are you? When I was in the verge of death and I was about to commit suicide, it was you who came and told Mata, don't worry, Rama is there to come and receive you. Today, when I'm equally worried about the outcome of the war, it is you who comes again to tell me that Rama has won. Are you born to give life to your devotees? In Madhva Sampradayam, Hanuman is called Mukhya Prana Devata. Vayu. You are giving me life. There is one shloka in Yuddha Kandam. Sita says, the only thing that can compensate the services, the kainkaryam that you have rendered, Hanuman, is when I keep my head at your feet. Hanuman says, no, Mata, I am like your son. We may be from different jatis. I may be from Vanara jati and you may be a Nara jati. But I am your son, Mata. You should not put your head at my feet, Mata. And Hanuman leaves. Now Sita is so excited because after about 10-11 months she is going to see Rama. And she has not had bath. Remember, there is one shloka, Avyakta rekham iva chandra rekham pramsuf pradugdham iva varna rekham. Valmiki says, it looked as if a thin layer of dust had enveloped the pristine rays of, the nectarine rays of the moon. If you find it, we call that blue moon, red moon, there's a concept. You will find that the white moon will appear a bit dirty. When you see Paurnima Chandra, it will look with kalankam. The craters look like that. But our acharyas say that why do craters appear on the moon? There is a beautiful description. I'm sure a lot of you may appreciate. There is a composition in the Tamil language 400 years back. It relates to Krishna Avataram. It seems when the doe with the chanchala drishti, you know what is chanchala drishti? They will be very, very restless. The doe with restless eyes looked at Krishna's face. They were they're feeling shy because they thought their eyes were beautiful. When they looked at Krishna's face, they became very shameful and they wanted to go hide themselves somewhere. So the doe went and hid itself in the moon. So when in a white, imagine you've got white paint. You put one drop of red, the color will change. So when the doe went and hid itself in the moon had an akni, kalankam. Now moon, who was used to seeing such a clear face, was now very petrified looking at the acne. So he wanted to hide himself and he sought refuge at Shiva and went and hid himself in the jata. So this is the pasuram. வானவில்லில் காணுகின்ற வண்ண வண்ண நிறமெல்லாம் வந்து வந்து சரண் புகுந்ததோ, மோன எழில் காண நாணி வானமதி மானம் மஞ்சி மூலநாதன் சடை போனதோ, நின் குழலிலே கானமழை பொழிந்திட கந்தருவர் கிண்ணரும் மானமஞ்சி மறைந்தனரோ, நின் குழலிலே தாம் தாம் தகிட தீம் தீம் தகத கதமிதம் தகதிமி தேனருவி போலொளிரும் உன்பதன தீஞ்சுவையில் விளையாடும் மகரமென நீல மலர் கோல திருமேனி கண்டு மோகம் கொண்டு நெஞ்சம் நிறைவானதே. This is the composition of Uttukadu Venkatakavi. Now, Sita did not bathe for so many days. After Hanuman had left, Vibhishana comes to that place. He says, Mata, I have not seen you, because both of them have not met. Only Vibhishana's daughter has met. Trijata has met. So he comes and introduces, I am Ravana's younger brother. That me too, Ravana's brother. My name is Vibhishan. Sita says, bless you, my son. Rama has called you to the amphitheater, Mata. Okay, I will come. Aisa nahi. He wants you to take bath, dress up in good silk clothes and put beautiful jewelry and come. Sita was a bit confused because she has to show Rama how much she has missed him in that dirty state. In all our movies, how will it be? That kidnapped heroine will come slowly limping. The hero will see and they will hug. Here Vibhishana says the contrary, take bath, put silk clothes. But she says, okay, fine. If Rama says so, she bathes, she puts on drapes in silk clothes, good jewelry, and she comes in a palanquin. Now all these Vanaras, for them it was an on-site project because they were all in Kishkinda. This was their first foreign tour. They all had come here. So they had not seen Sita. Imagine, they have never seen the client. But you have to work on that project. You have to clock 8 to 10 hours a day. They have not seen Sita. Finally, they have to see Sita. So they all had their phones on because Sita is coming in the palanquin. They were all excited because Rama and Sita are meeting after such a hiatus. The moment that palanquin was coming, Rama said, when all of you are walking, how special is this woman to be carried in a shibika? Put that palanquin down and let her walk this arena. The monkeys were confused. Has he got some demon has possessed Rama? கடவுள் பாதி மிருகம் பாதி கலந்து செய்த கலவைதான் உள்ளே மிருகம் வெளியே கடவுள் says our ஆழ்வார் பெட்டாண்டவன். Most of the times you can't understand what he says. So here Sita walks from that shibika. There are a few dialogues. The moment these dialogues are there, some Twitter handle will copy paste and paste that. Look at this misogynist, Brahminical, patriarchal Rama. What Rama said? I think you seem to be enjoying your stay in Lanka. I think you have put a few ounces of weight. Maybe you like the food here. It is my duty, as per the promise that I have made to your father, to protect you at all instances. But if you wish, you can choose Lakshmana, Bharata, whomever you want as your husband. These are the exact dialogues. Go check. Immediately all our blood will boil. ऐसे कैसे कर सकते हैं मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम राम? Because Rama wanted to throw the same accusation she threw at Lakshmana. You remember in Aranya Kandam, she maligned Lakshmana's character. Why, sir? ऐसा क्यों revenge क्यों लेना चाहते हैं? Because people who are administrators, if somebody else does the mistake, if you say there is a punishment, even if your family members do it, the same punishment should apply. I generally give an example in Malayalam language. I'll give you that anecdote. Okay. There was a king in Kerala. Don't ask me where. Somewhere. This king had a special interest for horticulture. And then he was extremely interested in flowers. So he used to have a rose garden. Nobody should pluck those flowers. Some people have this unique habit of going for morning walks and plucking somebody else's house flowers and doing archana. Right? Nobody should pluck the rose flowers. That was the rule. And there was a huge punishment associated with it. One day a few roses went missing despite all these cautionary statements. Immediately the king said, "Whoever has committed this mistake shall be put to 100 lashes. Thanking you, yours sincerely," he put his name. While he was finishing that order, that order statement, two soldiers came and said, they muttered in his ears, they said, "Sir, the person who plucked those rose flowers is your son Keshavan. Not anybody else. Your son Keshavan has plucked those flowers." All this while the king was thinking some third person had plucked. So the punishment was strict. The moment he heard his son had plucked the flowers, he wrote one footnote. "Keshavan undengil kevalam doshamilla case dismiss." If the crime, look at that word if the crime of plucking the rose flowers has been committed by my son Keshava, then it is not a crime. An administrator should never be this partial. A true administrator should be impartial. He should be disinterested. See, if a third person had spoken such words to Lakshmana, Rama would have punished that person. How dare you malign the character of my all-serving, every time serving brother Lakshmana? Rama would have reprimanded him. But if Sita does, Sita, no, she is my beloved, she is here. Here, idhar hai wo, idhar बैठी hai. She is my screensaver on my Mac Pro. She is there on my mobile. सभी जगह है मेरी सीता. वो कहती है तो उसमें कुछ गड़बड़ नहीं होगा. This is the way an administrator should not be. Even if it was a private incident where Sita had reprimanded and maligned the character of Lakshmana, it was the duty of an administrator to punish her, to make her realize that she should not make such scathing statements. So what was the accusation thrown by Sita at Lakshmana? Character maligned him. Was there evidence? No. So Rama threw the same accusation at her. Now what did Sita have to do? Sita said, "If you believe so, I will walk into the fire." When they say walk into the fire, do not exactly assume it was blazing fire. See, if you look at many of the village temples, there is one practice where they walk on the fire. It doesn't mean blazing fire. It will be heated stones. In Tamil, it is called Tee Midi. So, even today, if you go to Lanka, you land in Colombo, and then you take a road route via Kandy. You go to a hill station called Nuvara Eliya. In the outskirts of Nuvara Eliya, please visit this village. It is called Divarumbola. Divarumpola in the Sinhalese language means the place where the Agni Pariksha was done. Even today, all the villages come and promise in front of the Panchayat leader there. There is a practice in Lanka, Divarumpola. So Sita said she will walk into the fire. Now we may have some activists. Why should she agree, sir? She should have just said to hell with you, and she should have gone to Mithila, correct? She could have done that. See, first of all, we often assume that Sita is a very soft, benevolent, ignorant, innocent woman who needs half-baked advocates like us. She doesn't need an advocate. She can fight her own case. At the age of 18, when just Rama said, "Stay back," she said, "Kim tvam anyata vaidehaha pitame mithilaadipaha." My father has committed a grave mistake by marrying you to me. Why will that lady suddenly become an ignoramus? Why will she become innocent all of a sudden? She knew how to fight her case, but she knew very well that she had hurt Lakshmana. And she knew very well that her husband will do justice to that, and that is why she quietly accepted. So Agni Pariksha is not a test for her chastity. Please, that is where we should make some time, learn the language and read the original work with 8 commentaries. Ramayana has 8 commentaries. You have got Uttari's commentary, Kathaka, Dharmakuta, Tilaka, Bhushana, Madhava Yogin's commentary, Trayambakamakin's Dharmakutam, Kathaka. 8 commentaries. For every verse there will be 8 commentaries. 24,000 verses, 8 commentaries. How much our acharyas have worked to decipher the purport and what is between the lines, and we just go by one Wikipedia line. That is the way we have landed Sanatana Dharma in. Rama tested her chastity. Why will he do that? Why will she accept that? We often assume that, see, we have certain practices which have crept in because of invasions in our country. If you go to some parts of Bharata Desham, there is this practice where women cover their faces. I think it's called Gungat. There is no mention in any of our Shastras that the women should cover their faces. It is because of the aftermath of the invasions, the Rajput women, they were very worried and they covered their faces. It is, none of our scriptures, none of our sculptures talk about covering the faces. Because the moment I say this, see, when I go abroad for giving lectures in universities, that is when I understand what a wrong notion they have of Sanatana Dharma. Leaving all Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhva, Nimbarka, Ekanath, Samartha Ramdas, Kanakadasa, Purandaradasa, Vithala, Bhadrachala Ramadas, Annamaya, Jayadeva, Tulasidas, Surdas, Mirabai. You know what picture they will put in the background in LED? When I present, they will put Agora's picture. They will be in Varanasi smoking with no clothes on. They will say, speech on Sanatana Dharma by Dushyant Sridhar. I will be wondering, well, how am I associated with the Agoras? Because for them, they see Hinduism in a certain lens. And added to that, we will have our own people who have never studied the Ramayana. They'll say, Rama is patriarchal. He tested his wife's chastity. Rama is Brahminical, patriarchal. They'll hold placards. They'll take candle marches. Where does Ramayana state that he was telling about the chastity? It was a punishment for her mistake. Now you may ask, who is he to punish? Because he is an administrator. Nagarastho vanastho va tvamno raja janeshwaraha. You may say he is not the king of Ayodhya. Whether the policeman comes in his police uniform or mufti, he has the duty to protect his citizens. Whether he is in the forest or in the kingdom, he has to protect. Nagarastho vanastho va. He was doing the duty of a king. So Ramayana gives such beautiful description. Then they go back to Ayodhya. While they head back to Ayodhya, Rama and Lakshmana, Sita, he describes, these are all the places where I have come. Sita, see this place, see this place. They go to Kishkindha, pick up the wives of the Vanaras, because they said, see, our husbands have fought for you in Lanka, give us some stipend. So they were all taken. And they were all taken to Ayodhya. All the waters from the Punya Nadis were brought. The steps gilded in pure gold. Rama and Sita were wearing white silk with a jari. She was holding a lotus in one hand. And then all the rishis were standing on either side. See, I've told this yesterday, I'm telling this again. With all responsibility, with absolutely no other intention, I'm telling you. The installation of Rama Lalla in Rama Janmabhoomi is going to be the biggest achievements in Sanatana Dharma. We do not know how important it is. Ayodhya, Ayodhye aparajiteti vidita nakam parena sthita. I can give a list, a laundry list of references why Ayodhya is important from our Shastram. Ayodhya is the other name of Vaikuntham, says Shastram. Ayodhya nakam parena sthita. It is another name of Vaikuntham. It is for that reason that people who invaded very intelligently knew where the roots were. We may say, why can't hospital be constructed? Old age home, charity home. All of it can be constructed in Ayodhya, but not in the place where Rama was born. There could be plenty of buildings. We can have multi-speciality hospitals. Serve the society. Very good. Madhava Seva, Manava Seva. But Ramayanam is the Dharma Moolam for us. Vedokhilo Dharma Moolam. Veda Vedye Pare Pumsi. Some of us may not realize the depth of the situation. If you have read the Ramayana, you go to any humble scholar seated on one of the citadels or the pedestals in a village, a very well-read scholar, they will agree with the statement. So when Rama walked the steps, you have to imagine how Ramalalla will be walking up the steps. All the rishis, Vasishtho, Vamadevascha, Jabalir, Atha Kashyapaha. The conches were then blown. Ramam Ratnamaye Pithe Sasitam Sanyaveshayat Vasishto Vamadevascha Jabalir Athakashyapaha Katyayanaha Suyajñascha Gautamo Vijayasthata Abhyashinchan Naravyagra Prasannena Sugandhina Ramam Ratnamaye Pithe Sasitam Sanyaveshayat. The Shankhanadam was heard. Ramam Ratnamaye Pithe Sasitam Sanyaveshayat Vasishto Vamadevascha Jabalir Athakashyapaha Katyayanaha Suyajñascha Gautamo Vijayastatha Abhyashinchan Naravyagra Prasannena Sugandhina. I feel every moment of Ramayana should be celebrated. I would request the lights on the stage and the audience side to be switched off. Just the light on Bhagavan can stay. The lights here also, it can be switched off. Take your phones out. Keep your torch on and do an harati in your hearts to Rama. Ramam Ratnamaye Pithe Sasitam Sanyaveshayat Vasishtho Vamadevascha Jabalir Athakashyapaha Katyayanaha Suyajñascha Gautamo Vijayastatha Abhyashinchan Naravyagra Prasannena Sugandhina Salilena Sahasraksham Vasavo Vasavam Yatha Mama Pattabhirama Jaya Maruti Sannutanama Ariyanai Anumantanga Angadan Vudaival Yenda Baradan Venkudaika Vikka Mattiruvarum Kavari Visa Viraishari Kudali Vonga Vennai Nallo Shadayantangal Marabulor Kodukka Vangi Vasisthane Punaindan Mauli Chaturmukheshwara Mukhaihi Putra Pautradishaline Namasita Sametaya Ramaya Grihamedhine Kavi Kathaka Simha Katitam Kathora Sukumara Gumbhagambhiram Bhava Bhaya Bheshajametat Pathada Mahavira Vaibhavam Sudhiyaha. Put the lights back. Thank you. So, Rama Pattabhishekam with Sita is a momentous occasion in Yuddha Kandam. I'm sure there'll be one question that will be troubling your hearts. All this is understandable, sir. Why did he send a pregnant Sita to the forest again? In Uttarakandam it happens. One theory, immediately some scholars will say, Uttarakandam itself is not there, sir. That was written by somebody else. None of our acharyas have agreed that way. It was a part of the Ramayana, Valmiki only composed. Then why did he send pregnant Sita to the forest? That may not form a part of this lecture. I'm sure in the due course of this year, I will come again to Chembur Fine Arts to answer that question, coupled with another question. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Yayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobramane Shubham Astu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kayena Vacha Manasendreva Buddhyatmanaba Prakriti Swabhavat Karomi Yatyat Sakalam Parasmai Sriman Narayanayeti Samarpayami. There is this Mangalam for Rama. Ramachandraya Janakarajaja Manoharaya Mamakabhishtadaya Mahitamangalam. Ramachandraya Janakarajaja Manoharaya Mamakabhishtadaya Mahitamangalam. Kosalendraya Mandahasadasa Poshanaya Vasavadi Vinuta Sarvadaya Mangalam. Lalita Ratna Kundalaya Tulasivana Malikaya Jalaja Sadrisha Dehaya Charu Mangalam. Vimala Rupaya Vividha Vedanta Vedyaya Sumukha Chitta Kamitaya Shubhada Mangalam. Ramadasaya Mrudula Hridaya Kamalavasaya Tamarasa Nivasaya Bhadramangalam. Swami Bhadragirivaraya Sarvamangalam. Swami Bhadragirivaraya Sarvamangalam. I'm extremely thankful to the Fine Arts Society Chembur for having organized these 2 days of lectures on the Friday and the Saturday. Yesterday we had the opportunity to understand Garuda Vainateya Upakhyanam, which incidentally comes in Mahabharata, which is the quintessence of the Mahabharata. And today we had the opportunity to briefly understand the Dampatyam between Rama and Sita, which is nothing less than gold and platinum. Thank you from the bottomest of my heart to all the Astikas who have gathered here for both the days, especially to the youngsters who thought that the dialogues here may be better than Devi Vishwakumar of Never Have I Ever. And thanks to all of you again. And you have actually found this much better than Archie's, right? So thanks again. And to two of my hosts, Sri Dushyanth Sridhar ji and to Balasubramanyam ji for having hosted me. Of course, to Radhika Kumar ji for spearheading such a beautiful initiative. I've been in touch with Ramesh ji for the posters and the banners. To all of the members of the fine arts, the volunteers who have made this such a honoring and a very humbling moment for me. Thank you so much. Namaskaram.